Is it working?
There you are. We can see you. We can hear you.
Perfect.
This is great. I would love, I know we have a limited time, so I just
Mhm.
would love to just dive right in and get
Perfect.
started. Can you introduce yourself, your name, your business?
Yep. So I'm Anthony. I'm the owner of Aspen Rustic Creations. Um, Basically, we're selling on Etsy, Amazon, our website, and that's it so far. We do some into person sales and stuff like that, but mainly online. But yeah, we started in 2015. I was in college at Colorado State,
Yeah.
and my sister wanted to have a rustic themed wedding. And me being an entrepreneur back in college, I kind of saw my dad making these candle holders out of aspen because we have property up in the mountains and we have tons of aspen. So we made some candle holders for her. And my dad actually came up with an idea of like, hey, why don't you try to do something with this? It's kind of a cool idea. And I was like, me being with wood and stuff, I was like, no, that doesn't sound too fun. But little do we know, I started selling on Etsy in 2015, and I got sales once in a while, and it wasn't enough to sustain to be like a full-time
Uh-huh.
business and everything. So I got a job at a mortgage industry, and I worked there for uh, about a year and a half, maybe. And yeah, after like a year, I was doing both full-time jobs, and I wasn't myself. I was just working and
Strained,
working. Uh,
little, working a little too much, a little too thin on
ex
all fronts. Yeah.
Exactly. And at the time, my girlfriend, we didn't have as much time together, and it was just tough. So I finally decided to take Aspen Rustic Creation to the full level where it was my full-time job, and it kind of just blew up before my eyes. I was just shocked, and it was a great feeling seeing something from my sister's wedding to
Yeah.
now my full-time job, and it's crazy.
Yeah, especially it's really cool when you are splitting your time and you're like trying to keep up with everything, and then when you give it your full devotion and you can see that it like expands in such a massive way, that's got to be such a good feeling.
It is. It's really
Yes.
cool.
So what year did you go to full time?
Full time, I went, I want to say about midway through 2016. So I
Okay.
graduated mid of 2015 at Colorado State, got a business degree, which I guess I haven't used it totally, but
You're
parents
using
would
it
be
now.
happy. That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So I got that, and then 2016, halfway through the year, I decided to go full time, especially with the craft, the fall, the Christmas, the holiday shows. It
Yeah.
just, I couldn't do both at that time. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So how many people are on the team at Aspen Rustic Creations? Is it just you?
It's mainly me. I would say it's me. And my dad helps out when he has some time. My fiance, she does calligraphy actually, so she helps out with some of my other wedding decor kind of stuff. And then
Hmm.
my mom, and then one of my friends helps out when in the holiday season. So yeah, it's mainly it's
One man
it's
show.
it
That's
is.
awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I'm one of those too, and it's okay. It's
Yes.
good. So how has this whole pandemic affected business? Are you still able to ship and do everything that you have done before? Has it changed anything?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Our wedding decor, so we have kind of a two, like kind of the wood burning, like pyrography kind of stuff with the wedding decor kind of stuff. Our wedding decor numbers are just diminished. And that, for me, getting married in May, fingers crossed, we'll see.
Yeah.
Uh, Weddings are kind of on hold right now. No one knows what's going on. So those numbers, I'm seeing those kind of clients in our numbers. They're not really purchasing because of the
Yeah.
uncertainty. So we're seeing those numbers go down, but our crafts and all that kind of stuff has been crazy. I
Yeah.
think the quarantine, people staying at home and having their kids around and them just trying to create. We're even getting orders on ornaments right now. It's crazy. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. What percentage normally would you say goes towards like weddings versus other crafts and art forms? Like, where would you say the percentage lies normally versus, I mean, it sounds like right now it's way more heavily in the craft realm,
yep.
but normally what would you say percentage wise you guys are?
Uh, I would say we're probably 60% crafts and 40% weddings.
Okay.
Right now is more of our wedding busy time, and then once the holidays hit, it's totally crafts, and it's
Yeah.
yeah.
But the wedding stuff is not nobody's getting married this year. It seems like it's really
It's tough, and we're dealing with trying to reschedule another date. So we're trying to do two weddings basically within one, and it's taken a toll on me, my fiance, and
Yeah.
just the families involved, our friends. It's brutal, but
Yeah, this thing it's insane, but you know, just gotta try and find the silver lining wherever you can, right?
exactly.
And
That's
just
right.
keep moving forward. Um,
Yep.
so you guys are still shipping. That's awesome. People can still get all of your wood products. And I would love it. It looks like you've got some in the background there. I would love it if you would just do a little, quick rundown of some of your products.
Yeah.
I've got some, small pieces here, and I have one of your larger pieces here too as well. But
Nice.
I just would love to see what you guys have.
Yeah, so I have a some right here. So basically what we do, this is our workshop. I'll show you around it kind of. So this is basically a huge garage on steroids that we work at. It's not my home, but where we do all the shipping and boxing and where all our inventory is actually in our basement at our house. So it's kind of a cool little operation, but I have some stuff here. These are what you just showed, kind of
Yeah.
the wood slices
Yeah.
we have. Yep. These are more of our kind of our new product that's kind of blown up. These are like standing shelf sitters.
Yeah.
They basically sit flat and you can burn easily, just flat
And
surface.
show us how thick they are. Will you turn it size? Yeah.
They're about an inch. I mean, you can't really tell, but they're about an inch in thickness, so they're very sturdy in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So we have those. I know these are pretty cool. These are our vases. This is kind of like a.
I love those. They're so pretty.
Yes, these are vases that we sell a lot of. We drill out the hole with our drill press, and then we let people decide what they want to put in them. They
Yeah.
can be pencil holders, pen holders.
Yeah.
And these are kind of our new. We just got some of these in. They're really cool. These are our Aspen planks. I
Oh,
can't remember.
beautiful.
Yes, the coloration out of them.
Yeah.
These are,
Can you bring it in a little bit more? I want to see the edging especially.
so the edge. This one.
Yeah. So cool.
So it's doesn't have the bark on it. It's live edge without the bark.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the coloration out of them all are really cool. And each one is different. We got these in from a third party since we don't have the tools to cut anything past 12 inches in diameter. So we use a third party to cut it all. And they did that for us, and they're awesome.
So where is the wood sourced? And because you do only aspen, correct?
Yes, we used to do pine. We try to do pine, but we didn't really like what it does to the saws with like the sappiness and then the cleaning and all that stuff. And aspen's a really clean cut, so we just decided to stop cleaning and just stick with aspen.
Yeah.
But in regards to where we get it, my family has property that we have tons of aspens that grow on them. And the cool thing about that too is, not about my family's land, but in 2016 when I was starting it, I put out a post on Craigslist stating if you want your aspen trees, residentials, if you want your aspen tree removed and taken away, we'd be happy to come over and take it. And since aspen's
amazing.
yes, so
such a brilliant idea.
I know, and that's where it kind of blew up in my eyes. Is like I'm actually getting all these kind of trees that people don't want anymore, and we wanted to make stuff out of them. So we did that.
Awesome.
We did that, and we have companies that Colorado's kind of blowing up in a sense with like people coming in here. New builds are taking out aspens that are word of mouth now from that Craigslist ad. They're taking out tons of aspens where we come in and now basically instead of them sourcing them to a burn site or something, we come in and take them and now make them into products that we sell. So
awesome. So smart. So smart. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, you still have to put in the hard work of taking the trees out. Are you the one doing that? Are you the one physically going to these properties and taking the trees out?
I don't do that part. They call the tree removal service, and basically they take the tree down. Because if I took it down and it hit the house or something, then I'm liable and I don't have the insurance for that.
Yeah.
So they take it down, and then instead of them charging to take it to their burn site, they don't pay for that product, and we come in for free and take the wood. So it saves them some money.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. So you're the one that comes in and hauls it away.
Exactly. We do that. Cool. That's about it. And
that's so cool. And then process it and get it all ready for us to do our pretty things on it. That's so cool.
Exactly.
And I know that you do some other things too. I saw that you have like table numbers and stuff like that. which is more of the wedding side of the business, but you do some like laser engraving type things with your business
Yes.
as well.
Yep. So we're kind of getting into that the engraving business. Me and my brother are trying to start our own side business on a sense where we're doing like cutting boards and all that stuff with the laser engraving part. So we went 50-50 on an engraver, but I do some stuff with wedding numbers, some
Yeah.
signage.
Is that all Andrea's calligraphy that I see on the website? Is that her
It's not
calligraphy?
mine. If it was mine, no one would buy. So yeah, it's all her. She does everything hand lettered. So it's all in-house, and it's a real cool team we have in a
That's
sense where she
awesome.
does all the
That's awesome.
pretty
So,
stuff.
um, when did you discover that wood burning artists were falling in love with your wood? I mean, I know where I found Aspen Rustic Creations. I think the first time I saw you guys was from Kate Broderick
Hmm.
Creations,
Yep.
like a year and a half ago, something like that. It must have been when like I first heard of you guys. But when did you discover pyrography, and then like when did pyrography become like, I assume a big part of your clientele?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 2016, me and my buddy, we went to Vegas for a little fun trip, and it was during like the holiday season, and I started just getting orders left and right, and I was just like blown away. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Um, and it was cool. I was getting repeat customers, and they're saying, I love the stuff. It burns so good. It's such a soft wood. It's light. And I was just like, I didn't know anything about that. I was just trying to make a quick
Word it,
extra buck.
this spread word of mouth, I think, is what it is
Uh-huh.
people tried it and then had to tell other people, and other people told other people, and it just kind of spread, which is,
It,
and that's fantastic. That's the way that you wanted to
exactly.
go. Yeah,
Free
yeah,
marketing. So it
yeah.
was
That's
cool.
cool.
And yeah, people, we had a couple customers that ordered just a huge amount. And that's when I kind of thought, yeah, this is actually a thing. And people started reaching out and saying they love it. And I was just, it's a great feeling too. And
Yeah,
just makes me motivated to keep working.
yeah. Especially, so speaking of like huge amounts, I had one question for you from someone on Instagram asking, what's the largest order you've ever received?
Oh,
How
um,
many physical pieces?
uh, that would probably be, so it was, I think last year actually, we got an order for, I think 15,000 wood slices, which is a ton. It ranged from 2 inches all the way up to 10 inches. And what they're doing with it is um, they're a laser engraving company as well. They're doing it for, I don't know what company it was off the top of my head, but they're doing some laser engraving as well as they're building a feature wall at their building, which
Oh, cool.
they were putting it all in and making a wood rustic kind of um, back
Backdrop or
wall.
something other. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
so cool. Yeah.
So
Very interesting question. I'm gonna have to look and see who asked it. I'll make sure I write it down at
yeah.
some point. But that's a great question. So what other art crafts and art forms and crafts and hobbies have you seen pick up your wood slices and put them to use?
So we're starting to get into more of the furniture, and not like we're doing it, but we've seen some people making out of our wood rounds some like rounded wood tables where they get the pin legs and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
we've seen some people do that. We've seen some, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a wood slice, basically like, well, this one's massive, but it's like a wood slice, and then they hang something. It's like a table kind of where they hang it
yeah,
from the wall with like
yeah.
some string, and it's like a floating table basically.
So
So
cool.
yeah, we're seeing some more of that stuff. And then obviously just wedding decor. Like there's just always something cool they're trying to make out of it. So we're
Yeah.
seeing a lot
Well,
of different things.
and I don't think it's anything that's ever going to go out of style. I mean, people always want natural to be part of
Hmm.
who they are and what they're about. So tree slice, it's no one's ever going to get sick of trees, you know?
Yes,
Like it's,
exactly. And they're going to be around.
yeah, they're going to be around forever. So like my question would be, how do you suggest people store your Aspen wood slices?
Yes, so that's a great question. So what we do over here, we air dry all our wood slices because Aspen has like a root system that is they're basically all connected to one, and then they span out and have different trees. So once, like let's for say a big tree uproots, because the root system's so close to the ground that sometimes they just naturally fall over because of the root system, and like a big snowstorm here in Colorado, those trees are more alive in a sense. They're dead, but they will
Yeah.
be dead because they're on the ground.
Yeah. They're still very wet.
Exactly,
Yeah.
still very wet. So we cut those up, and we basically used like the racks behind me that I can show you in a sec. Uh, we let them air dry for, depending on how much moisture is within them. We air dry all of our wood slices so they're nice and dry. So once you receive them, you can get to crafting right away. In regards to keeping out of direct sunlight, that's the biggest thing. They're still going to have moisture within them. A lot of the wood does. It's just part of the wood. But if you keep them out of direct sunlight and in dark, not little moist areas, they're generally going to stay good for however long, a long time.
Yeah. 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 I always say, definitely keep your wood out of the sun, no matter what. Just keep it out of the sun. Do you have any new products in the works that you maybe want to share or talk about?
Yeah, so one of the products that we've been trying to get to, since I'm a one-person shop basically, and I do from everything, it's hard to get my time always on new products. But
Right.
one product we really want to get going is, it's a bunch of crafty kind of stuff. So we're going to put together like in a medium flat rate box, so shipping is affordable. We're going to put together like a plank, just a bunch of variety of aspen wood, some barkless wood slices, some standing sitters. Excuse me.
Like it's totally fine. So like a variety pack of sorts.
Yes, with like a bunch of everything, so they can try it out, because we get some requests basically asking, we don't want to purchase 10 of them. Can we purchase 2, and then can we purchase 2 of everything else? They don't want to purchase in bulk, but they want to try it out. So we're going to put together a variety pack in the next couple weeks.
So everybody can just have a little sampler pack of their own. That's great.
Exactly.
What, I mean, we've already talked about like the different ways that people use your slices. Has there been anything that has stuck out to you as being like super weird or interesting or unique in a way that had you just like, whoa, check this out, you know, sort of a thing?
Yeah, so that's I was thinking about that, and one person, a couple of years ago, some person reached out on Etsy and just said, hey, we'd like to buy your wood slices. And I was like, okay, cool, sounds great. Yeah. And they said, are they great for looking into? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And they wanted to dissect it. And I was like, dissecting wood? What? And they wanted to dissect how old the wood was within the rings of the aspen wood. And aspen wood doesn't really have rings around it. So I stated that, and they said, oh, we're going to have a class at, to basically dissect the wood and see how old it was. And I was like,
so cool.
Interesting. Yeah. So I've never heard that one before.
Okay. All right. That you definitely remembered a good one for that. That's really cool.
Yes.
Really cool. Because with a lot of woods, you really can see the rings, but you're right. It's nearly, I mean, I don't know how much you guys can see, but it's nearly impossible to see where the rings start and where they end. It's not like other wood slices where it's a very clear ring pattern. Cool.
Exactly.
So any goals that you have for Aspen Rustic Creations that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get more into furniture and stuff, because me and my fiance built these really cool aspen plank tables. We have these huge, like 6.5 feet planks that we put pin legs on them, and we're gonna use them as like tables for our wedding, for like by the bar and everything.
Yeah.
So I want to get into more furniture kind of stuff, but obviously the money and all that stuff and all the wood stuff is kind of where we're at right now. But
yeah,
the fun building stuff.
It sounds like with that sort of thing, you're gonna have to either figure out shipping very large things, or you're gonna have to do local. So, but that's really cool and fun dream and goal. I like it.
I know.
So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, but I would love it if you would show us around the shop, or anything that you want to just take us on a tour of. We'll follow along. I know that you have to get going at some point, but I think we still have a little bit more time.
Yeah, let me, all right. I'll do my best to keeping the camera as calm as possible. So basically, we have a bunch of saws that we have in our workshop. This is one of our garage openings. So we do some cutting there. There's some of our logs that we are just air drying right now, basically just waiting to process. Um, these are more of our larger wood slices that, as you can see towards the end, they're a little bigger. Those are the ones we use on this machine, actually. It's our bandsaw that's where we cut all
Yeah.
anything above 5 inches. And then we have a couple more saws that once they get hot, kind of just do rotations and everything like that. Here's some of our inventory that it's kind of clutter in a sense. It looks like that, but it's all stuff we got to get to. Just
Yeah.
cut, sanded, and all that. We have some drying rack, a little one. Here's some inventory we have that just hasn't been used, and then we have a bunch of our
Look at them all drying.
yep, all air drying to make sure they're all ready to go. We have a ton of these right now. And then we have a bunch more racks over here that,
How long does the drying process generally take? How long from the time that you cut it to the time that it's being shipped out, like roughly?
it all depends on the wood. Some of the stuff is a lot more drier because it's just been down longer. Typically we want those ones to or air dry for at least a week. On some of the more wetter stuff that we do get from time to time, typically, so like for instance, these are we just got in. These are massive wood slices that was a uprooted tree on our property. Um, it was pretty healthy in a sense, but it uprooted. So those we're gonna probably have a month of just pure air drying, which takes up some of our rack space.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it all depends. We don't kiln dry any of them. We like to keep it all natural. I just think that's the way to go. It's a natural product. That's
Hmm.
what we do. But yeah, that's kind of the process on that.
It's really cool. Really, and they're all so beautiful. And I was lucky. I put in a big order with you guys a little while ago for it was a project at Facebook headquarters, and
Yep.
we were supposed to go and do an event in person. And of course, the event got canceled, but luckily they're still wanting the product. So they're still gonna be getting it. It's just, I'm not gonna get to visit Facebook headquarters, which I'm a little bummed about, but
I know.
they said something that hopefully they'll get me out there in the future. Cause I'm like, really wanted to get there, and I was going to be bringing 3 other pyrography artists with me to do in-person burning, and it was going to be so cool.
Uh,
But instead we're doing laser burnings and sending it over to them, and they're just as happy and they love the product. I actually gave them 3 different options to choose from of different types of wood, and they
mhm.
chose Aspen because they were going for the theme was a speakeasy, which I was like, ooh, cool. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, I want to go to this party. But, you know, things happen, like,
Yeah.
pandemics. So it didn't
Yeah.
quite work out the way I wanted, but it's okay. But the wood pieces you sent over, they were all very consistent, all very smooth, all ready to go. Beautiful pieces of wood. And the one thing that I like really love about aspen wood, which is, I feel like it really sets it apart from all other woods, is just like all of the spalting that you see in each
Hmm.
piece. It's all so different and so unique, and you'll never find them that look exactly the same, I assume, unless you are getting 2 pieces that were right
Yeah.
next to each other. But it still is, they're just so beautiful, and they burn really well. I know so many pyrography artists that love your wood pieces. It's just, yeah, really cool, and it's good to get to know more about like the process and
Yep.
where the wood is coming from and all of that stuff. It's really
Yep.
cool to get to know all of that. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any other questions for Anthony before he goes? And if not, you can always put it. After this live interview, I'll put up a little question bubble for everybody in stories. And if you have any follow-up questions that you want to ask, feel free to ask them. And then you will see a blog post at some point later down the road when we finish it. And then you will also see this video up on YouTube. So make sure to go check it out. And then go give Aspen Rustic Creations a follow and go check out their website. And if you haven't tried their wood yet, give it a try. I suggest it. It's really cool. It's beautiful wood, and it totally has a different feel than a lot of the other woods out there, but it burns really nicely. So go and
Well,
check it
thank
out.
you.
Anything else you want to add, Anthony?
That should be it. I appreciate having me on here.
Yeah, this was great. It was nice to get to see the
And
person behind, all of the
mhm.
beautiful wood. So this is
Well,
great.
thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys later. On Monday, I'm coming back for some more interviews with wood burning artists for that week, and that might be our last week, so we'll just have to see. I might do some more interviews in the future, but right now this is kind of where it's going to be at. But be on the lookout for this YouTube video, and give Anthony a follow. Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Anthony. We'll see
Rachel.
you later.
Sounds good.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one, guys.